Right then, following this week's epic FA Youth Cup win by Manchester United's under-18s against Everton. And if you've not seen, go check out my preview for that. We talk about why Charlie McNeil is the one to watch. He obviously got a goal in that game. There was some sensational play and goals from United in that game. Really strong performance against a really tough opposition. And he got me thinking, like, Manchester United are the most successful team in this competition. We've lifted the trophy on 10 separate occasions, but we haven't won it since 2011. And that was a 6-3 aggregate game against Sheffield United. The 2011 team was a team that was packed full of talent, big names, loads of those that you're going to be familiar with today. And some players have actually made it from that starting 11 to our current starting 11. And some of them have fell off all the way down the pyramid. So today, let's have a look at what happened to United's last FA Youth Cup win in 2011. So let's start at the back then. In net, it was Sam Johnson, current age 28, current club West Brom, made 0 first-team appearances for Manchester United. Struggled with De Gea being in his way for the entire time, really. Dropped down the Championship, played for Aston Villa on loan in 17-18, then joined West Brom on a permanent deal in 2018. Most recently, he's made 3 appearances for England in friendlies, so an international. You've got to consider that a success from the academy if you can make your way for an international, and was managed to find a way into the call-up for England for the Euros for 2020. Let's have a look at in defence then. So first defender we're going to be looking at is Michael Keane. 29 years of age, current club at Everton. He made 5 first-team appearances for Manchester United, 1 Premier League appearance for United under Louis van Gaal, second game in charge before he was moved to Burnley for £2.3 million. He played a crucial role in Burnley's title-winning season to get back into the Premier League, and then he found himself in the England setup before being moved over to Everton for around £30 million. Another success, I would say, there for the academy. Sean McGinty was also in defence. He's currently playing for Ayr United in Scotland. 0 United appearances. After the Youth Cup win, he was sent out on loan to Morecambe, to Oxford, to Carlisle and to Tranmere. He failed to make a breakthrough at Old Trafford, and McGinty was allowed to join Sheffield United in League One, but once again struggled for first-team football. He joined Torque in 2016. 2 years later, he switched England for Scotland, where he now plays at Ayr United. One that we had big hopes for was Tom Thorpe, currently a free agent. Might actually see if he fancies a game. Currently a free agent, 1 Manchester United first-team appearance. This was the guy who was the captain. He was probably the one that all of us had a bit of an eye on, thinking, he looks like a real player, looks like one that could really make it. Regarded as a massive potential in 2011, and like Keane, made just 1 appearance in the Premier League, replacing Di Maria, of all people, against West Ham in 2015. He was released from his contract at the end of the 14-15 season. He joined Rotherham in the Championship, who then loaned him out to Bolton for the 16-17 season, and then in 17 he joined Indian Super League side, ATK. He left them in 2018 and has been without a club ever since. So a bit of a sad case, that one, I would think, considering the hype and the reputation around Tom at the time. I think it's a real sad one, but he was a hell of a player, and it'd be interesting to see what he's up to now, or why he's without a club at the moment. Rounding out the defence then was Michael Fornacia. Current club is Monopoly. Yeah, you heard that right. 0 first-team appearances for United. He failed to make it in England. He returned back to Italy. He made 10 Serie A appearances for Sampdoria in the 13-14 season before joining Pescara a year later. He made 92 appearances at Pescara. He now plays for Monopoly, which isn't a board game, although it is, but it's also an Italian third-tier side. Into midfield then, let's have a look. On the right, we had Jesse Lingard, current age 29, current club Manchester United, although that will not be for long, I imagine. 225 first-team appearances. Whether or not you think he deserves to be starting week in, week out, Jesse Lingard is an academy success. Make no bones about it. At the age of 22, Jesse forced himself into first-team contention and actually became a key man under Louis van Gaal. Obviously scored a winning goal in an FA Cup final against Crystal Palace. And after Mourinho left, he pretty much seemed to fall out of favour with Solskjaer and the England national team after what was a pretty good tournament for him over in Russia. He then went on loan to West Ham. Last season he scored 9 and 15 assists in just 16 games, was probably one of the form players in the Premier League. He's come back to United, hasn't really managed to establish himself. Ralph doesn't seem to fancy him, even though I thought that he probably would do, and it looks like he's probably going to leave on a free in the summer, but I would say a success for the academy. Maybe didn't achieve what he could have wanted and maybe deserved to do in the game, but certainly an academy success, and obviously we know where he is. In central midfield was, there was a couple of players actually, and one of them you've definitely heard of, one of them maybe not, and that's Ryan Tunnelcliff. Now, Ryan Tunnelcliff actually won Player of the Year this year. Surrounded by all of these players, Ryan Tunnelcliff was Player of the Year. He was a feisty, combative midfielder, and I liked him. I liked the attitude and the way he played. Rennie Mullenstein brought Tunnelcliff to Craven Cottage during his brief spell that he had there at Fulham, but he really struggled to make an impression. He's then had spells with Millwall and Luton and currently plays for Portsmouth. So again, probably consider that another success. Had a full career in football, and is a sound bloke as well, Ryan. 29 now, had a decent career there, and obviously was Player of the Year in a team that had, well, the two lads I'm going to talk about next. First up, Paul Pogba. That was the other central midfielder. 221 appearances for Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson saw Pogba depart on a free transfer in 2012 after failing to establish himself in the first team or be given first team opportunities, depending on which side of the narrative you want to lie up on that. He developed into one of the best central midfielders in world football, was even included in the 2015 FIFA Pro World 11, and then he returned to United for a world record £89 million fee. Won the World Cup in France, and has been heavily linked with a move away from Old Trafford pretty much since rejoining. Pogba's a conundrum because you have to consider him a success of the academy system, and he was a wonderful player in that team. Scored a lot of goals in that team from central midfield. He's just frustrating with the circus around him, isn't it? But either way, we know who he is, where he is, and what he's up to. And again, he's had a successful career, I think you could say. On the left wing, another player, and this is what makes what Ryan Tunnelcliff did in becoming Player of the Year this year. It was even more impressive because I'll tell you this, in 2011, there would have been people putting a lot of cash on Ravel Morrison making massive waves across football. His current club is Derby County. He made 3 first-team appearances for Manchester United. Fergie regarded Morrison as one of the most naturally gifted talents that have ever come through the academy. But attitude, application, off-the-field dramas really stood in the way of him making his potential at the club. He's had more clubs than Tiger Woods since then. He's been on trial more times than someone of Ravel Morrison's quality should have been on trial. But recently signed for Derby County with Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney looks to get some discipline and consistency out of him, which literally no other manager has managed to do. So that's another feather in the cap for Wayne Rooney. It looks like he's enjoying himself playing. He's played 23 times this season. He's got 1 goal. He's got 2 assists. Ability-wise, he's going to have taken a slump because those development years where the likes of Paul Pogba were going out and playing week in, week out in Serie A, Ravel Morrison was failing to train regularly, failed to establish himself, and failing to take his talent seriously. I think Ravel Morrison has to go down as a failure. Even though he's a player that's playing championship football regularly right now, I think from where he was, the fall has been ridiculous. And I think he's probably a failure from what we thought he could go on and achieve in the game. Up front, we had Will Keane. Now, Will Keane was another player. Like Tom Thorpe, I was like, this guy could do anything. Twin brother of Michael Keane. Was briefly involved in the first team under Louis van Gaal before Jose Mourinho allowed him to move on. You might not have heard of Marcus Rashford if it wasn't for Will Keane being injured. Joined Hull City after their promotion to link up with former assistant Mike Phelan. That season ended prematurely because of a knee injury, and the injuries have absolutely blighted Will's career forever. He left Hull after only scoring 1 in 26. He joined Ipswich, but now plays for Wigan. This season, Wigan sit in second, and Will is their top scorer with 14 goals, 6 assists in 29 games. So it looks like he's actually finally found some regular football. Will was an absolute monster of a centre forward, serious talent, and I'm certain I think the week before Marcus, or just before Marcus made his debut for United, Will had gone on and done something mad, like scored, was it 5 or 6 he scored in the under 23s, then got injured and couldn't take the opportunity that was definitely coming his way in the first team. So happy for him after the injuries that he's had, that he's finally found some consistency, because he was a serious talent. Another striker that that didn't really live up to the billing is Van Velzen. Current club is Telstar, didn't make a first-team appearance at United. He left United at the end of 2013. He moved to Utrecht, where he played for a couple of years before going playing for FC Volendam and Roda JC in the Dutch second tier. He returned to England in 2019 with Crawley. They sent him on loan to Aldershot before he moved back again to his home again with Telstar. Other players that you may know in that side, there was 3 others that substitutes in that night. Lionel Cole. Lionel currently plays for Radcliffe Borough, but interestingly, the year that Stretford Paddock FC was formed and we applied to join the Lancashire and Cheshire League, Lionel Cole was playing in Lancashire and Cheshire League for Whalley Range. So that made me panic a little bit about the level of the team that we were going into. But Lionel Cole now plays for Radcliffe Borough, a non-league team just north of Manchester. Tyler Blackett actually featured 11 times in the Premier League for United in 14-15 season. Moved on to play under Jaap Stam at Reading, helped them to the Championship playoff final in 2017. Has recently played for Nottingham Forest. He's also been out in the MLS as well. I actually saw Tyler over Christmas. I assume he's back from MLS duty, but yeah, I saw him at Christmas in Manchester actually, and he looks great. He looks like he's enjoying his football, and a bit of a bold move to go and play in the MLS. I think it's Vancouver that he plays for in the MLS. And John Coffey was the other one. And John Coffey, United supposedly paid £1 million for him at 14 from Burnley. He spent the last few years over in Ireland. He's been in Australia, he's been in the Philippines, but looks like he's decided to call time on his career and just become a football coach. So it goes to show it's nice to win things, and Manchester United, I think, should be looking to win things at youth level, because I think it ingrains the pressure, the expectation, and also the confidence that you're able to go and achieve things as a team. A lot of youth development is about developing you as an individual, but you also have to have that ability to be able to come together as a team and win stuff. I think the Class of 92 and the Busby Babes are the ones we hold in the highest esteem as youth teams, and they were capable of winning things. The Class of 92, there were several players involved in there. I think they won it. We won it in 92 and 95. We were finalists in 93. We won the first 5, as the Busby Babes. Manchester United has a tradition of doing well in this competition. That's fell off recently. And I think this Manchester United side should prioritise, as an academy, the FA Youth Cup. There's no guarantee of success as a player, as you've just seen from the 11 players that we've just got, the 14 players that we've just gone through there. But I do think it embeds something into those players, and there's some careers that have gone on from there. But like I said, there's no guarantee of it from there. But anyway, that's what all those guys are up to. Any ones that you're surprised about? Any ones that you thought were certain to make it? And I'm sure there's going to be loads of comments saying Rovell Morrison. But, Sir Alex Ferguson will be right with you in that one as well. Make sure to subscribe, get your comments in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.